Hello, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about the get route handlers that are no longer cached by default. So we are discussing caching, and previous 4 videos I have discussed about ISR, SSR, CSR, this sort of things. But today we are going to discuss about get routes. Okay, get routes are no longer cached by default in Next.js 14. Next.js 15, go to Next.js 15 and see the differences. Caching, fetch request. We discussed about the fetch request previously. Now it's time to discuss about the get routes handler. Client navigation are no longer cached by default. So we are discussing about get routes. So it is no longer being cached by the Next.js, but it is not caching by default. But if you wanna cache, you have to do different way. Okay. Okay, let's dive into the deep. So for that, I am creating a folder inside API, and I am creating say test just to test, and route.ts. Okay, and inside that create a route. So export const export async function get and const random number 100 plus 1. Okay, and const data equal to message hello from Next.js 15 API. Okay, API routes and random number. Okay, and now we need to send the response. Okay, return new response status. We don't need any status, just data. Just send the data, nothing else. Data and status code. Okay, status 200. Okay, we need the curly brace over here. Okay, so let's go and npm run dev. Let's see the behavior. Let's see its activity and go localhost API test. So we hello from Nextjs approach random number, and if you see it's not by default caching. It is not caching is because it's changing randomly upon every request. It's changing frequently. Okay, and if you go to the network tab, test and see cache control. Cache control, no cache, and there is no heat over here. Heat. Okay, so it's changing frequently. Now 75, it's 10, it's 52, it's 59, and even I'm showing you it will not be cache. npm run build it takes a little bit of time. Generating static pages. This will be by default dynamic, as we have not declared. You see, this is dynamic. You see API test, this dynamic. Okay, this is dynamic. It's rendering dynamically by default, and it's not caching. So npm run start, and let's see, it is not been cached. You see, it's now 84. It will change 47, 46, 78. Okay, 89. It's changing frequently. Okay, so now we want to cache it. Okay, so how can we do that? So for caching, I am deleting the previous next build and coming here and declare new response. It should be next response. Okay, next response. Next response dot json. We don't need json stringify. Okay, so now I am export. I am doing something for caching. Okay, export const dynamic equal to force static. Force static. Okay, now let's see what will happen. We wanna build it on again. So what we are doing, we are forcing. Now it's rendering as a dynamic. You see, it's dynamic. Remember it's rendering as a dynamic. So it's not circle, it's F, it's rendering dynamically. Okay, but we wanna force it to rendering statically. So static data has been cached and it serves quickly, it loads quickly. So npm run build. It will now render statically, not dynamically. So there is a difference of why I am going to discuss why we are rendering statically and why dynamically. Let's render it first or build it first. Okay, now see, API is rendering statically. It's circle. You see, static pre-rendered and static content. Okay, so now npm run start, and now go. First time it will change. You see, now it's not changing. It's 89. And if you come over here, you see status code. You see, this time you can get hit. X Nextjs cache hit. That means it has been cached and it's not changing. I'm showing you. Previously it was changed and it's So we are getting the previous behavior, I mean Next.js behavior 14 behavior by declaring const dynamic force static, but I can declare force dynamic also. So there is a difference. So can you understand? We if you wish, we can relegate to Next.js 14 behavior, and it's caching and it's not changing. So what's the basic difference? Force static and you can declare force dynamic also like that. If you come over here and force, you can declare force dynamic. Okay, you can do that, but in the same file, no need to do the both things simultaneously. So force static, what does it mean? Behavior. This setting tells Next.js to generate the response statically at build time. Okay, at build time, it's generating statically. If you come here, so app API, you see test is here. So it's building statically at build time. Okay, it will be cached and served as is for every request until the next build. Use case ideal for content that does not change frequently and can be served from a static cache, such as documentation, landing page, or API routes where the response does not depend on user input. Caching. The API response will remain the same for all requests, improving performance and reduce load on the server. Okay, so it's not changing. It's not changing. Our route was this one. It's not changing. It's static, so it's serving statically. And what we can do, we can force dynamic changes. Say API response will remain the same for all requests, improving performance and reduce load on the server. Export const dynamic, force dynamic. We can also force dynamic instead of force static. Behavior. This setting instructs Nextjs to generate a response dynamically on each request. The data will not be cached. So if we use it, it will not be cached, and new response will generated every time the API route is hit. Every time it will be built. So use case useful for content that changes frequently or is personalized based on the user input, such as user profile, dashboard, or real-time data feeds. Caching. The API response is generated fresh for each request, ensuring hot users always receive the most up-to-date information. And where this use case is content does not change frequently and can be served from static cache such as documentation, landing pages, or API routes where the response does not depend on user input. Okay, I hope that will make sense. So we discussed about face and get. Okay, I hope you understood everything, and this video is give you a lot of information regarding caching, Next.js 15 caching. So if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned, stay connected. See you soon. A little bit announcement. You can get a tremendous and superb course. This is my course. MERN stack, Typescript, Ecommerce, Docker, RTKquery, and along with deploy. It's a nice and huge course. So its price is $44, but I can give you for my students, I can give it only $9. Okay, so it will last for 5 days, but you will get $9. If the course is needed, you can contact with me, just $9.99. Okay, so it's a super course, tremendous course. So you will able to learn a lot of things. You will get TypeScript, e-commerce, Docker, RTK query, and deployment. So it is built on React 9.18, Node.js 20, and role-based automatic redirect. So I will give the discount link and coupon code and course link in the description box. You can come and check and don't hesitate to grab the course. Thank you very much.